Howdy, folks. Going to talk a little bit about small parts polishing. I'm currently knocking out, I can't see where my other pieces and parts are. I'm currently knocking out a cut in, cut down bezel setting for another one of these big inlay rings. So I think I have that on the right side. Uh, It'll get soldered in here like this and then sculpted with a graver and everything to match, and then a little bit of gold inlay, possibly some small diamonds, because what this setting is for, what this mount is for, is to set this. I need my looking specs so I can see what side I'm working with here. There it is. I have a tiny hash mark that lets me know which orientation this kind of old mine cut. This was cut in the 50s in California. It's a Pacoima Canyon zircon. Pacoima Canyon outside of LA. They found a pegmatite deposit in the 1950s that produced some zircon and some beryl. And I have some pretty interesting zircon and beryl cuts from there. Beautiful golden beryl. And this is a standard, golden zircon. So it sits in this mount like so. And, but it's a cut-in setting, so I first cut it with a saw and then finished in my tapers with some burrs. And even with a finishing burr, it still leaves, it's still a burr edge. It's still a burr cut finish. And it looks pretty bright through the stone, but it could be brighter. And I touched on these little tings with a group, so I figured I'd just throw a little video out there. This is a pin polisher. And this kit is sold by Rio Grande, and it's great. Buy the whole kit, get all the polishers. This is the blue one right now because I'm removing my burr marks. They are rubber pins that are diamond impregnated. The coarser ones are less flexible than the polishing pins, like the higher grits. But for getting into small areas, they come in 2 and 3 millimeter sizes. I buy the 3 millimeter, and if I ever need to taper them or shape them, I just grab a trusty, keep one down here, I'd grab a trusty little diamond file, and I could bring the edge back, I could taper it to whatever kind of, can make it any tip shape you want, and you can get fancy with them, Most of the time I just shape a nice little cone on the tip of them, and it helps me get into areas. The 2 millimeter ones are useful as well, but it's just 2 millimeters smaller. But these things will get in places and save you some time. I used to use diamond paste on toothpicks, and I would put those in my regular chucked handpiece. I would just chuck up a toothpick and dip it in some Tap Magic. I use Tap Magic on my gravers. I use Tap Magic sometimes for drilling. A lot of people use like Burr Life and stuff like that. Tap Magic. Go to your hardware store. It's a really, really high viscosity, uh, but low. What's the word I'm looking for? It's another V word. I know it. It's in here somewhere. Um, it can get really hot before it starts to break down. What's the word I'm looking for? Help me out with that one. But anyways, I use Tap Magic. Tap Magic works great. I keep it at the bench. I dip my gravers in it, use it as a graver slick. I dip my burrs in it. It doesn't impregnate metal too much at all. It's kind of what it's made for. It's made to just aid in cutting. And I come from a world of contracting, and I used to be in furniture design and building, and I used to use Tap Magic for milling a lot of elements, bronze elements, steel elements. And when I started doing jewelry and started graving and drilling and stuff like that, I didn't know all the products that were out there and available to jewelers. And I started reaching into my toolbox for things. And, I've gotten to try other things that like spearmint oil for gravers, and I just keep going back to Tap Magic. Because it works really well, it's not expensive, and I have a big old tin of it that if I weren't using it for this, it'd just be going to waste. Now, everything else just goes to waste. I have Burr Life, and I have spearmint oil, and I've found that they just don't have as much working longevity as Tap Magic does. But with these, I was talking about the Tap Magic because that's what I would use to help bond the diamond paste to a toothpick when I would go in and polish small areas, or just have to do light removal with coarser diamond pastes on areas where I'd already burred in and stuff like that. Now I just run through these Rio Grande silicone rubber pin polishers. I could probably save some money by doing it another way, but these have pretty good life, and they come in pretty big kits. The kit with the arbor is only like $25, and there's like 8 different grits of polishers, and each one is in a bag of 10 or a dozen, and I just keep buying new kits, and I get a new arbor with every kit, and for $25 you can't go wrong. And every couple of orders in with Rio, I just order another kit, keep stocking up on them. They're useful. So this is, it's the blue, and as you can tell, it's cutting real well. You could look at that reflection line in there. And I'll run through all the grits from blue right up to the green. And I'll polish the inside of this as best it can be, and it'll just provide a much nicer, find my little hash mark here again. It'll just provide a much nicer. Now, the reason I have a hash mark on this is because it's an old mine cut. You can't really say an old mine cut. Old mine cuts are kind of cut off by about the 1930s. This was cut in the 1950s, but it was cut in California, probably by somebody that wasn't a professional fastener. all these zircons that I have and the barrels from Pacoima Canyon are all a little wonky. But I like it because they're cute, you know? Like, I don't know if you can see the pavilion on that. It's like a little fatter on one side than is the other. You know, the girdle's fatter on one side than it is the other. I don't believe the table is perfectly faced up. I think it's just a little shifted. But they're old stones from a rare locale, and I'm not going to have them retouched or recut. So cutting in a custom setting for it, it's fun. But yeah, this one sits real nice now. And what I'm going to end up doing here is putting in a gold bezel, and I'm just going to bezel set it in 18 karat gold in the silver, and then use the silver, probably put some more stones around it. But this video is to talk to you about extol the virtues of these Rio Grande pin polishers. I love them. They will save you time. They might not save you money, but having a tool that's just quick to go to, well, if that's cutting down on time and time is money, then in the end, it might save you some money. So yeah, I hope you could find this, once again, informative and entertaining. Pin polishers, fantastic little kit. I'm pretty sure other people carry them too, Stuller and others, but I do most of my ordering from Rio because I'm right down here in southern Arizona, and they're right over in Albuquerque, and I usually get it in about 2 days. So yeah, these little pin polishers are great, and you know, this is what the pins look like here. You know, there's a gray one. That's the next step, and there's a red one. That's the one that's before the green, which is the ultra fine. But they're around, I don't know, 22, 25, 25 millimeters long when you first get them, a little over an inch ish, and they chuck up in this little. This little arbor has basically a chuck key at the end of, like, you know, just a twisty chuck, and you just stick them in and use your diamond file, grind them whatever profile you want, and use them, abuse them. They'll help you out with your work. So once again, hit that like and subscribe. The giveaway is still going, and I think I only have 20 more subscribers. I picked up like another 10 subscribers today. So yeah, I think 20 more subscribers, and one of you lucky 100 that do the redirect thing, come back to the Facebook page and get on the post. I'm just going to pick a number. You're all going to pick numbers 1 through 100 on the post, and then I'm going to do a random number generator with the phone, and one of you lucky hundreds are going to get 100 carats of free cabochons cut by me. I'm just going to mail you out 100 carats of good, mostly all, pretty much all American turquoise. That's what's in my trays. There might be a cool jasper in there or something, who knows, but you're going to get 100 carats of pretty cool cabs to use in your jewelry work, and I wish you all the best. Thanks again for tuning in. Once again, hit that like and subscribe if you're new here, and tell me what kind of content you want to see. Comment, send me messages, do whatever you need to. I'm here for you. Thanks again. Adios. Have a good night. Oh, and Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. Happy Merry Christmas Hanukkah. Adios.